Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
It is a special day all across Major League Baseball and all across the country. A day of remembrance. 9/11. Hard to believe it's been this long, but we still, as if it was yesterday, remember where you were. If you were alive back then, you remember the day, September 11th. And baseball shines a significant spotlight on this day we shall not forget. Great to have you with us today, folks, from beautiful Miller Park on a beautiful day. And we'll play baseball today in a pennant race, no doubt. But it's also a day when we think about those who keep us safe, the first responders, the firefighters, all the emergency personnel, police officers. Today's the day we put them at the forefront. And hi, everybody. We welcome you inside Miller Park. Great to have you with us. This is a tremendous day. Obviously, the Brewers are in a pennant race, so it feels really fun right now. But, Rock, not only around the country as we remember the events of 9/11, and we try to put those who served and are in the first responders role at the forefront, but we also remember how baseball was such a healing salve during that time in 2001.
And again, I think baseball really does a good job. You know, charities around the country and remembering days like 9/11, and certainly even a pennant race pales in comparison. It kind of is a wake-up call for everybody. But I remember after 9/11, a couple of days off from baseball back in St. Louis, and the memorable Jack Buck speech, and that got everybody going. And certainly it's great that we remember the first responders and those innocent folks that died in New York and all over our country on 9/11. So a good day in baseball.
Yep, and we're going to play some ball, and we're going to have some fun at Miller Park. Let's hope the Brewers can keep this thing going here. They swept the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley. They've got the Pittsburgh Pirates here at home coming up next. Who will step up? We'll find out. We're going to check in with Sophia Minard right after this.
Wrigley Field in Chicago. We begin a 3-game homestand against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a matchup of 2 rookies. For the Pittsburgh, it'll be the lefty Steven Brault made his last start against the Cubs, and Brandon Woodruff getting ready for his 5th big league start. He's been great for the Brewers, a 1.52 earned run average over his first 4. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Miller Park. And Craig Counsell has said in order to beat the division-leading teams like the Dodgers, the Nationals, and most recently the Cubs in consecutive weekends, he says you need to outpitch those teams. And that's exactly what his team has done here over the last few weeks, but most notably in the weekend series against the Cubs. And they bumped Jimmy Nelson so that this was how their rotation would set up. And boy, did they deliver. Jimmy Nelson, 5 innings for him. Chase Anderson followed it with another strong 5. And Zach Davies was tremendous yesterday, a 7-inning effort. So they limited the Cubs to just 1 earned run, 18 strikeouts as well between the 3 of them. So the Brewers have certainly held up their part of the pitching. Craig Counsell says in order for them to continue to pick up ground in the division race, that will need to carry over into this 3-game homestand against the Pirates.
That's the key to those series, is that we've pitched so well, and we didn't pitch as well in that Cincinnati series. And it is going to be the key going forward. And obviously we're going to be, we're challenged with losing Jimmy. That's a spot that we're going to have to fill. But it is going to be, the pitching is what is, to me, is provided the consistency and has gotten us through those series against teams like that.
Pittsburgh has the season advantage, 8-5 against Milwaukee, but the home team has won each of the last 8 games. Can the Brewers continue their success here at home? We've got first pitch and lineups coming up next here at Miller Park.
Sends out a way back career home run number 300.
This one is going to be a home run. Shaw, right field. Hayward looking up, and it's a home run. Got him. Strike 3.
What a series it was at Wrigley Field. Now the Brewers are back in their home ballpark. And this broadcast tonight presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. What a beautiful night for baseball in Milwaukee. Beautiful Monday here, 9/11 on a day we remember all across Major League Baseball. 68 degrees at Miller Park. And we are set for game 1 of this series between the Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Right now the Brewers are 2 games back in the division with that sweep of the Chicago Cubs. St. Louis also 2 games back. The Cardinals and the Brewers with identical records. The Cubs are off tonight. And then we're also checking that wild card race. Right now, Arizona's 5 clear of Colorado. Colorado is in Phoenix tonight. They start a series of 4-gamer with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll be watching that one closely as well. Well, let's talk about how the Brewers have fared against teams under 500. They are playing the Pirates tonight, Rock, who are 10 under 500 at 67 and 77, and that's a stat that Craig Counsell would like to see go north.
And it's not like these are teams that you just line up against and say you should beat these teams. If you know, under 500, you're talking about Pittsburgh, and one of the big sweeps that the Brewers had was a 4-gamer in Pittsburgh, the 3-gamer against the Reds. But look at the other side of the flip of the coin. I mean, teams over 500, they won 8 games against the Dodgers, Nationals, and Cubs. And that's why right now they're still in the race.
Well, Clint Hurdle and the Pirates are here after getting swept by the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. 7th-year skipper just signed a long multi-year contract extension, a 4-year extension, to be the manager of the Pirates. So he's going to be around a while in Pittsburgh. He's had a lot of success with the Pirates, but a down year this year. Pirates batting order is brought to you by Potawatomi. Starling Marte leads off, then Adam Frazier. Andrew McCutchen will hit third. In the middle goes Bell, Polanco, and Sean Rodriguez. Elias Diaz will be the catcher for the Pirates tonight. Jordy Mercer hits 8th, and then the pitcher is Stephen Brault, a left-hander making just his 2nd start of the season. Brandon Woodruff is on the mound. He is off to a roaring start in his major league career, and the Brewers are leaning on him tonight, Rock, to keep it going.
Yeah, first time he's ever faced the Pirates. Normally an advantage for him. 5th start this year, that 152 earned run average. Last time out, got a no decision against the Nationals. He pitched well, 7 innings, 2 hits, only 1 run. And he has had 9 days in between starts. You would expect that to help his fastball here tonight. We'll see how it affects the changeup. Let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. Very good defensively in that Cubs series. Outstanding work backing up that good pitching. Braun, Broxton, Santana in the outfield. You got Shaw, Arcia, Perez, Aguilar, and Pena behind home plate. Craig Counsell has his right-handed lineup out there tonight.
Against the left-handed starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Shaw is the only lefty in there. Chris Guccione will call the balls and strikes. Bruce Dreckman, Bill Welke, and Jordan Baker are the base umpires. The crew chief out there at second base tonight in Bill Welke. All right, all the pieces are in place. We're ready to play ball tonight at Miller Park. Field looks fantastic. The Brewers have a very quick 3-game homestand before they head to Miami, we think. We'll hear more from Sophia on that in a little while. But the next road trip will be at Miami, at Pittsburgh, and then the Brewers will come home for their last regular season homestand of the season. Woodruff's first delivery is down and in, ball 1, and away we go at Miller Park. Pirates have lost 5 straight games after they had won 4 in a row. The Brewers had won the first 5 of the first 9 against Pittsburgh, then got swept in that 4-game series right after the All-Star break. That was a rough stretch for Craig Counsell and the Brewers. That started a 2-8 road trip, and that's when the Brewers went from 5.5 up to 1.5 back in the standings. Little bouncer, broken bat sounded like, and Woodruff starts this one with a ground ball out.
Always good to see that slider, a good slider to get Marte. Pirates haven't been scoring a lot of runs. They do get a big break. No Josh Harrison and no Francisco Cervelli in the lineup. Both of those guys on the disabled list. Those two really gave the Brewers a tough time this year. There's Josh Harrison, a nemesis to the Brewers.
A fractured wrist for Harrison, leading the league in hit by pitches, and one finally got him and knocks him out the rest of the year. Frazier is in there at second base tonight, and he takes a strike from Woodruff. College teammates at Mississippi State, these two, Brandon Woodruff and Adam Frazier, part of that great College World Series team they had at Mississippi State in 2012, known as the Diamond Dogs. As of last count, Rock, there were 8 players off that team that are in the big leagues right now.
No kidding.
How about that?
Yeah. Good talent. Yeah, Frazier having a nice year.
Woodruff, the 24-year-old right-hander from Tupelo, Mississippi. And tonight is his 5th major league start. Went 6 1/3 shutout in his big league debut as a starter against Tampa Bay. That was back on August 4th. And then he made another start 5 days later against the Twins. Pitched well, 5 2/3 and only 2 runs. And then the Brewers got into some off days where they didn't need a 5th starter. Woodruff went back to the minor leagues. Has come up, made a start against the Rockies and the Nationals, and here he is against the Pirates right in the throes of a pennant race.
Yeah, no kidding. And he's been throwing the baseball well down in AAA, 6-5 in 16 starts.
He is a hard thrower. Last year was the Brewers minor league pitcher of the year. And Frazier gets by Arcia to base hit. So one dog beats the other, and Frazier wins this round against his old teammate from Mississippi State.
And a tough guy to strike. Yeah, that pitch up and in. Frazier just pulled the hands in, shot it into left field. Inside out at this one, 96 up in the zone, and normally that'd be a pretty good pitch against a left-handed hitter, but Frazier handles the high pitch pretty well. Just out of the reach, under the glove of Arcia.
Unlikely Arcia is going to be able to throw him out anyway, even if he gloves it. Frazier with good speed. So runner at first for Andrew McCutchen now. And McCutchen on the first pitch launches one deep to right center, and it is gone. A home run. McCutchen in ambush mode, and he launches one out. 2-run home run. And the Pirates strike first here tonight.
And McCutchen back to his old tricks. I mean, he's always had good success against Milwaukee. Home run number 25 for McCutchen. Fastball down the middle, 95 miles an hour, and it's not often Andrew McCutchen is going to miss a pitch like that. A mistake pitch, opposite field, just sneaks it over the wall and right.
Here's Josh Bell aggressively on Woodruff, fouls it away. McCutchen with his 24th home run of the year, now 77 RBIs. Got off to a dreadful start this season. He has come on strong. There's a bouncer. Aguilar's got it, and he hits Woodruff. Just beats Bell to the bag for the second out. Brewers are very good defensively with this particular right-handed batting lineup, with Perez at second base. Aguilar's very slick fielder over at first. Doesn't have great range, but he fields everything he can get to.
Yep, good range up the middle, though, with Broxton. You got Arcia, Perez up the middle.
And of course, Pena behind the plate is one of the better defensive catchers going right now in Major League Baseball. 2 gone, 2 runs are in. Here's Gregory Polanco now.
It's always important against this Pirate ball club to be able to command off speed. These guys are very good fastball hitters. I mean, upper 90s fastballs.
And Polanco hooks one foul.
Change up. That's a good pitch. Change up, curveball, sliders down in the dirt, and you don't want to rely too heavily on the fastball against this group.
Pirates are pitching very well. They are not scoring a lot of runs since the All-Star break this season. There's a ground ball foul by Polanco. Hey, nice play by the ball girl out there. Well done.
Backhand pickup, nicely done. Everybody playing good defense lately.
She always makes plays. This is how you do it. Put it on the Brew Crew demo reel for how to play the foul balls.
Now plant the foot and make the throw.
She would have. 1-2 pitch, a called strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Well, Woodruff left one in the middle of the plate with McCutchen. He made him pay. 2-0 Buccos as we go to the bottom of the first. gives the Pirates an early lead at Miller Park tonight. 2-run home run in the first. Craig Counsell and the crew will play from behind in this one, and hoping their offense keeps on churning. Big weekend with the wind blowing in against the Chicago Cubs, including a 15-run performance on Saturday. And this is the lineup outside of the pitcher that was part of that domination on Saturday. Potawatomi batting order with Perez, Santana, and Braun. Shaw, Aguilar, Pena in the middle with Broxton, Arcia, and Woodruff rounding out the starting 9 that will match up against left-hander Steven Brault.
Making his second start of the year. He's made 3 starts against the Brewers. They all came last year. And last time out, a no decision against the Cubs. 3 runs in 5 innings. That was on September 5th.
Brault was the most valuable pitcher in the International League this season, AAA level. Had a great year at AAA for the Pirates. That's Indianapolis. 10-5 record, a 1.94 ERA at AAA as Perez fouls it back.
Not a hard thrower. 91-92 with a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. Every now and again he'll flip up a curveball, but he'll throw the changeup against right-handed hitters.
One ball, 2 strikes on Perez. And that one a little flare into shallow right. Coming in Polanco for out number 1.
Now the defense for the Pirates has not been very good this year. 92 errors. That's 12th in the National League. Pretty athletic in the outfield, though. You got Marte, McCutchen, Polanco. These guys can close down gaps pretty quickly. Rodriguez and Mercer on the left side. You got Adam Frazier and Josh Bell on the right side, and Diaz behind home plate. No Francisco Cervelli, no Josh Harrison in this series. Both of them on the disabled list.
Here's Domingo Santana with one away. Now the Pirates had a rough series in St. Louis, getting swept by the Cardinals. Their game yesterday was a blowout performance by St. Louis. Cardinals jumped on them early. Home runs by Yadier Molina and Randall Grichuk, and the Cardinals won the game 7-0 behind Michael Wacha. He beat Nova. Broken bat, little flare right to the mound for out number 2. And the Brewers coming off this series in Chicago, Rock. One of the more impressive series at Wrigley Field in quite some time. Outscoring the Cubs 20-3. 15 of those runs came in game 2, but with the wind blowing in as it was, and the stakes that were on the table for the Brewers, needing a sweep, getting a sweep, and now just 2 back.
And the impressive thing about the offense, only 3 home runs. I mean, the Brewers were able to get runs, manufactured runs, hit with runners in scoring position, particularly on Friday. The Brewers on Saturday, I should say, were 7 for 10 with runners in scoring position that day. And that's something that Craig Counsell has been waiting for all season.
Now that performance on Saturday allowed the Brewers and Counsell to remove Chase Anderson from the game early. Anderson would be a potential candidate to start Wednesday. Brewers do have some options that they are mulling over right now, but the fact that the Brewers scored so many runs on Saturday and Chase Anderson's start gave Counsell the flexibility to keep that option available.
Yeah, pitch count was low too.
Coming back on short rest perhaps. Tomorrow it's going to be Brent Suter. Jimmy Nelson out for the season with that shoulder injury, so the Brewers are going to have to work around some of the off days they have remaining. Still need a fit starter 3 more times the rest of the season. And that's why you're leaning on Woodruff so much here today. Got in on his hands a little bit, dropped down sidearm, and Braun lifts one out to Polanco for the out. And a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the first. 2-0 Pirates. We go to the second.
The Pirates with a 2-0 lead. Scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. A short 3-game homestand for the Brewers here against the Pirates, and then they are scheduled to go to Miami for the Marlins series. And manager Craig Counsell said that all indications from both the Miami Marlins and the Brewers are that they are going. He said, so it's not confirmed for sure, but he said the hope is that we will go, and all indications are that they will after Hurricane Irma passed through. And he said, with a statement from the Marlins president, David Samson, that they're going to be picking up debris from trees surrounding Marlins Park, but the ballpark itself did not experience any flooding or water damage. The roof did suffer some damage, and that will need to be replaced immediately following the conclusion of the season. But again, we'll get probably a final decision on that tomorrow, but the Brewers expecting to go to Miami this weekend.
Well, that is the best news of all. That's the news that we were all hoping for, because that means that that hurricane that plowed through there didn't do the kind of damage that we thought it was going to. So it did damage on the other side, on the Gulf Coast side of Florida. And Brewers will be more than happy to go to Miami, and a lot of cleanup there in Florida and all through the South. There's a swing and a miss by Rodriguez. I tell you, you know, we are here on 9/11, and we're thinking about all the first responders, all those who do such great work in an emergency. It's a shattered bat. Wow, that goes right by Woodruff. And Rodriguez is retired for the first out. And by the way, that has been on display so much here, as the earthquake in Mexico City. You've had the hurricane that came through southeast Texas, and now this hurricane that's going through or went through Florida. I mean, yeah, we should always remember how important these first responders are in situations like this, and especially on a day like this, September 11th, when all across baseball we remember this day and the meaning of this day.
Sometimes you only appreciate them when you need them, right? And that shouldn't be the case.
The real heroes.
Yeah, they have been working overtime. Good for them. Man, it's good that you know, Florida wasn't hit as bad as everybody thought it would. There are areas that were hit pretty hard. Naples. Talking to some of the Brewer guys, you know, Darnell Coles, Ed Cedar, everything seems to be good in their places.
Perez comes in, fields a short hop, and retires Elias Diaz for out number 2.
Craig Counsell's parents were in Fort Myers.
Well, by the way, the Red Cross depends on financial donations to be able to provide disaster relief immediately. And we invite you to help people affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. 2 quick outs for Woodruff. Here is Jordy Mercer now, the 8th place hitter. And Woodruff pumps a fastball in there for a strike. One thing you'll notice about Woodruff, he is on the go. He is a guy who pitches with purpose. He's got his foot on the gas, and for an opposition, that can mean a lot. He's ready to come at you. On a 1-hopper out to Arcia. It's a 1-2-3 inning and 3 ground ball outs. Woodruff puts up a 0 in the second. Good bounce back inning for him.
As we head to the Brewers half of the second inning, there's a nice hairdo for you. Little wind blown, but
there's electricity in the air.
Yeah.
I told you.
Well, after sweeping the Cubs, the Brewers are planning on getting to the postseason. You can guarantee your spot at Miller Park for any potential postseason games in October by placing a deposit on a 2018 Brewers ticket plan. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plan.
Monday night crowd here at Miller Park, and a 3-game series with the Pirates. McCutchen is homered already, 2-run shot in the first inning. Otherwise, Woodruff getting a lot of ground ball outs, 5 of them as a matter of fact, and 1 strikeout thus far for the rookie right-hander. Let's see if the Brewers can get their offense going again and pick them up. Travis Shaw leads off. Aguilar to follow, then Pena. Shaw is the Brewer leader in home runs with 29 now. Hit a big one yesterday. 2-run shot, 29 homers, 90 runs batted in for Travis Shaw.
Yeah, big wind blowing in from right field at Wrigley Field in yesterday's game. High towering shot. Our Powerball home run leaderboard passing Eric Thames. Travis Shaw with 29 homers.
Shaw's hit 5 of those 29 against the Pirates this year. And a big swing against the lefty. 2-2 the count. Shaw is the lone lefty in the lineup today for the Brewers for the position players. Brandon Woodruff also hits left-handed, the Brewer pitcher.
That's part of the flexibility that Craig Counsell's had. Well, against right-handers, you can load up those left-handers, those left-handed hitters, and against the lefties like tonight, loaded up the right-handed hitters.
Shaw, a little handle shot, and Mercer over there on the shift will make the catch. So far, Brault's been able to disrupt the timing of the Brewer hitters. First 4 batters, a lot of soft contact by the first 4 hitters.
And right-handers really hitting him hard at .379 batting average. There's not a lot of home run, and this is his second start. He has made 6 appearances out of the bullpen.
He'll face Aguilar now with 1 away. Aguilar's had good numbers against the Pirates this year as well. A .400 hitter against Pittsburgh with a home run. Brewers getting some early looks at this young left-hander, Steven Brault. It's only the 7th different starter the Pirates have used this year. They've actually been very healthy in their rotation for the most part. Expanding their rotation to a 6-man to try to get a look at Brault. Pirates are going to send out another young pitcher on Wednesday in Tyler Glasnow. They'll have their ace Garrett Cole tomorrow.
I wouldn't miss by much.
Garrett Cole against Brent Suter tomorrow. Brewers have not announced a starter for Wednesday just yet. That one misses down and away. 3 balls and a strike on Aguilar. Got a hitter's count. And Aguilar pulls one foul. That one got in on his hands a little bit.
Well, if it means anything, Matt Garza is listed as a bullpen guy today. He's in the bullpen, so available. So is Junior Guerra. So a process of elimination. If you're into that. That doesn't mean if he's not used, that doesn't mean he can't start. He could.
I think the Brewers are just not wanting to commit just yet to a starter on Wednesday because they want to see how these next 2 days go, right? You got a rookie on the mound today. You got Brent Suter on the mound tomorrow, who is typically a reliever. He's come back as a starter recently, but he's a 5, maybe 6 inning starting pitcher. Might need some of those relievers in the next couple of days. 3-2 pitch, and Aguilar strikes out. Took something off. Aguilar was out in front, and 5 in a row retired by Brault.
Yeah, that's that changeup right there. First strikeout for Brault. Pulls a string on him off the outside corner, and Aguilar just waves at it off the plate. And talking to Darnell Coles today about Brault, got to make sure you get him on the plate and up in the zone early in the count.
He's not considered a big strikeout pitcher, but he did have some big strikeout games in the minor leagues this year in AAA. He had a couple of outings of 9 strikeouts, a couple of outings with 8 punch outs as well. He's done all he can do at the AAA level, that's for sure. Pirates are hoping he can take that to the big leagues. He works fast. He does throw strikes. He started to pound the strike zone. His manager in AAA is a former big leaguer, Andy Barquette. And Andy Barquette challenged him to stop nibbling around the edges. That might work in the minor leagues. It's not going to work in the big leagues.
At least early in the count. Yeah, get ahead early in the count, make these guys swing the bat, and then you can nibble on the corners.
What a year in AAA this season.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rewarded with a starting nod in the big leagues. Pena takes a ball low, 2-2 the count on the Brewer catcher. 2 outs in the second. Brault deals a 2-2, and it's inside, ball 3. He's got a little life on his fastball for sure. It looks like, I would imagine, as a hitter, just watching some of these early throws, there's some deception there too, right?
Yeah, slings it in there.
Every now and then he'll drop down 3/4 or even sidearm. Does so here. Pena sends it high in the air to center. Playable for McCutchen. And a 3-up, 3-down second inning. 6 in a row retired by Stephen Brault. We go to the third.
With a 2-0 lead. Time now for our minor league scouting report, brought to you by the UW Whitewater Athletics. And the Colorado Springs Sky Sox season has come to an end as the Memphis Redbirds won Game 5 yesterday and win that series 3-2. And so it was a furious rally. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. It did fall 13-10. There were some big offensive numbers in that series between the Sky Sox and the Redbirds. They combined for 73 runs in their last 3 games. Catcher Tyler Heineman had a big night behind the plate, 4 for 5, a home run, and 3 RBIs as well. So with their season wrapped up, Craig Counsell said it's possible that minor league options could be in play for the Wednesday start. That would be Jimmy Nelson's spot in the rotation. Or as you said, BA and Rock, it could be Chase Anderson on short rest. So there are certainly options available here with the expanded rosters.
Yep, and congratulations to the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. I know Rick Sweet is on his way to join the big league club and rewarding the AAA manager with a fantastic season. All those moving parts Brewers pulled a lot from that roster this year at the big league level, and they hung in there and had a great run this season. Well done.
Yeah.
Woodruff facing his mound opponent, Stephen Brault, to start this third inning.
He did a heck of a job pitching, too. I mean, in Colorado Springs, they had a good team earned run average, and they had to go pretty deep on the depth chart for the catching, right? I mean, Heineman, we hadn't seen him in the minor in spring training.
Well, the Brewers are only carrying 4 catchers in the big league, so doesn't leave many options in the minor leagues.
Had a good day at the plate.
Woodruff spent a good part of the year at AAA Colorado Springs. He made 16 starts there. ERA at 4.30. Brault does have a hit. Brief time in the big leagues as it is. Matter of fact, he had a hit off Mike Leake in his first big league at bat. That was in St. Louis back on the 5th of July. 1 for 6 at the plate. And he slaps that one over to third base. Shaw's got it. Long throw is a good one. And the ground balls keep coming for Brandon Woodruff. He goes first time through the batting order.
Yeah, and the only fly ball left the ballpark. Unfortunately for him, everything else on the ground.
7 outs recorded. He had 6 ground ball outs. Frazier had a single, and then McCutchen hit the 2-run homer right after on the first pitch he saw. Top of the order, round 2 for Woodruff against the Pirates. Here's Marte. Shows bunt, bunts through it. Marte trying to bunt his way on. That would give you an indication he might be a slumping hitter, and he is. He's 2 for his last 24 at the plate. Served an 80-game suspension for PED usage to begin the year.
He's a base stealer, so he's trying to bunt his way on, maybe steal a bag, get into scoring position. He's got 14 in limited at-bats this year.
Marte playing in only his 64th game of the season. Woodruff deals, and that one just missed. 3 balls and a strike. Brandon had a great year last year. An 11th round draft pick out of Mississippi State was Brandon Woodruff back in the 14 draft. That one hits the edge. May have got the benefit of a call.
Yes, he did.
He'll take it.
And fastball off the outside corner, and got the call from Chris Guccione.
3-2 pitch. Got him swinging on a slider. Fouls it away.
Hasn't thrown a strike yet, has he?
Got him in chase mode. That's a good sign. Woodruff has great stuff. I mean, he has the look, the stuff, the mental makeup of a potential ace.
Yeah, but the thing that makes him really special is the fact that he throws that changeup. It's a hard thrower. He's got that good slider, but the changeup keeps the guys honest up there at the plate.
Another ground ball out, and he comes back down in the count to get Marte. 2 up, 2 down, 2 more ground outs in this third inning.
That means that's 2 seamers working pretty nicely, getting a little sink as it gets to home plate.
Woodruff, with his start against the Tampa Bay Rays, his first big league start, became the 5th pitcher in Brewers history to have a scoreless start in his major league debut. Jim Slayton did it in 1971. The other was Jeff D'Amico back in '96. Steve Woodard on that list. May have had the best debut in Brewers franchise history, that 8-inning no-run performance in '97 for Woody. And then Chris Saenz in 2004. So those are the names on the list that Woodruff was able to join.
And he's on a pretty good list with his first 4 starts. That earned run average at only 152. Jaime Kokenauer had a good start. Tom Candiotti, a couple of my contemporaries.
2-0 the count, and a broken bat by Frazier.
Seen a bunch of those, haven't we?
First 4 starts of a career for the Brewers. Yep, Candiotti in '83. That was Rock's first year in the big leagues. The Candy Man, who is now a broadcaster with the Diamondbacks. Woodruff second best in his first 4.
The only one I wasn't around for was Ed Rodriguez, 1973.
Gallardo hit the ground running in '07. That was Braun's rookie year. That was the coming of age of a lot of the prospects. Feels like we have another one of those seasons going right now, right? Gallardo was the prize pitching prospect coming up in the Brewers system. Guys like Braun and Hart and Billy Hall and Prince Fielder, all of them arriving '05 to '06, '07.
Yep.
Ricky Weeks. And then of course the Brewers in '08 finally pushed through and snapped that long postseason drought. Made it into the postseason as the wild card team. Played the Phillies.
All that, but you need some veterans to lead the way. Remember CC Sabathia?
Oh yeah, he was on that team. I forgot.
Remember him?
I do remember him. 3-2 to Frazier, and he just missed. Frazier draws the walk.
Pretty good pitch. Yeah, kind of some late movement. Almost got him to swing. Hey, the most popular way to follow the postseason chase is with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com At Bat today.
Checking the At Bat app, and the Cardinals and the Cubs are both off today. They will play the next 3 days. So there goes Frazier. McCutchen takes a strike throw to second, and in there safely is Frazier.
Pena's throw a little bit high. 9th stolen base for Frazier. This is a guy that seems to be able to do something to help you win just about every day. Good defense. They move him around quite a bit. Tough guy to strike out. He's got a big lead right there. The high leg kick from Woodruff, and really no chance for Manny Pena.
Brewers are going to take a look at this replay in their clubhouse. I don't know. Did the tag get on him? Maybe not. Counsel took a look. He asked the home plate umpire to give him a moment, and I think they've
got to be sure this early in the game.
Yes, you don't want to burn a challenge at this point. So that's a steal, and now McCutchen is up there with a runner in scoring position. 2 men are out. It's good thinking by the Pirates as well. Last time up, you can't quite tell if the tag got on him or not. But last time up, McCutchen hit a first pitch fastball out of here. Frazier figuring Woodruff might throw a breaking ball. That's a pretty good bet next time around against McCutchen, and he picked the right pitch to run on. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a strike throw to second gets into center field. Frazier's on his way to third. That'll be a throwing error by Manny Pena.
Trying to wipe out that stolen base, and Pena with the big arm just not on target. You can see right there Hernan Perez behind the bag and not even close. And Frazier able to scoot on into third base.
Well, Pena with an error. He back picks more than any other catcher. He's been successful picking off base runners more than any other catcher in the big leagues as well. And that time it got him. Runner at third. 1-2 the count on McCutchen.
Yeah, sometimes when it's not there, you just hold on.
Coming inside on McCutchen, and a fastball fouled back. That's what I'm talking about with Woodruff, right? There aren't a lot of pitchers that are challenging McCutchen with fastballs, especially young pitchers, but Woodruff, he's got that bulldog mentality.
Well, he likes his fastball. He's got good movement on it, throws hard. Started him out with a slider, then a changeup, and thinking maybe McCutchen might be behind the fastball, which he was.
See what he does. 1-2. And a little breaking ball right back to the mound. Nice and easy. The first inning is over. Good work by Woodruff. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Brewers are coming up. We head to the home third.
Lead, and the big story in baseball continues to be the Cleveland Indians. They have already won 18 straight games. They're going for number 19 here tonight at their home park against the Tigers, and there's Francisco Lindor delivering a 3-run triple in the bottom of the second inning against Miles J. So that would give the Indians a 4-0 lead, and they're currently sitting nice with a 5-0 lead against the Tigers, and it's just almost unexplainable what the Indians are doing right now. I mean, we're just running out of superlatives, BA and Rock, to describe the streak that the Indians are on right now.
Yeah, it is, and they're not just winning. I mean, they're beating people pretty soundly too. I mean, pitching, offense, and I'm not sure what the bigger surprise is. I mean, you tell me. I mean, what the Cleveland Indians are doing or what has happened to the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's a big question around baseball. Dodgers have lost 10 in a row. 15 of 16 they have lost, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Broxton leading the way here in the third, and he hits a soft liner right to his buddy at first, Bell, for out number 1. The Indians remind me, and we can say I've hardly ever seen that in my lifetime, in my baseball lifetime, and it's true because it's only happened a couple of occasions, this kind of winning streak. But Indians remind me right now what they're doing, what the Colorado Rockies did in 2007.
Right.
Remember, they won 20 of 21, but that carried into the postseason with a couple of sweeps in the first 2 rounds.
And the A's in 0-2.
Yeah.
Well, they win 20 straight.
20 in a row. That's right. Yep, quite the number on the board for the Cleveland Indians, who have taken over as the best record in the American League over the Astros. That's going to set up for quite a postseason series, a potential ALCS.
And the Nationals only 4 wins behind the Dodgers now.
RCS shoots one foul. Yesterday, the Nationals, with a Marlins loss and the Washington win over the Phillies, clinched the division. 4th division title for the Nationals in the last 6 years. So they are the first to clinch, clinching on September 10th, behind 8 sparkling innings out of Steven Strasburg, 8 scoreless. He's got a long scoreless inning streak going right now as well.
Brewers took 3 out of 4 from the Nationals here at Miller Park. They played pretty good baseball against the division leaders in the National League as of late.
Arcia, a swing and a miss. And a strikeout for the second out of the inning. It's the second strikeout. Last time the Brewers played here at Miller Park, that series win against the Nats, clinching the division early in the schedule with 3 weeks to play. Brewers need the Nationals now in a big way. The Cubs are headed to Washington next weekend, or this coming weekend, and that's going to be a big series.
Well, and again, I think the Nationals have a lot to play for. I mean,
right.
that home field advantage, they can pass the Dodgers. The Dodgers hadn't gone into the tank like they have. I mean, that you know, the rest of the way is just kind of getting ready for postseason. But Washington has something to play for now.
Trying to chase down those Dodgers, only 4 back for the best record. That'll be next weekend. Cubs at Nats. Cubs are in the middle of a long homestand right now. They'll have the Mets starting tomorrow, and then the Cardinals will be at home against Cincinnati starting tomorrow. Both off tonight. Broken bat by Woodruff. Nice play at third from Rodriguez, and he makes the play to retire the side. And the rookie lefty Steven Brault has retired the first 9 batters he's faced. Heck of a play by Sean Rodriguez. Versatile utility man back in a Pirate uniform again.
Beer by Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Well, Zach Davies was on top of his game yesterday against the Chicago Cubs. 17-game winner, best mark in the major leagues. Zach Davies, and he turns the ball over to Brandon Woodruff, trying to keep this train rolling for Milwaukee as they look for their 4th consecutive win. And Zach Davies, another topic of conversation after his 17th win yesterday, Sophia.
Yeah, that's right. And Craig Counsell was asked about that, what the 17 wins, and he said, look, Davies is just on a roll right now. He said it's a pitcher executing with 4 pitches. He said you may think it's boring the way he pitches, but he said that's how you succeed. And he said he gives the hitters a lot to defend at the plate. They certainly don't like having to face him because of having to face those 4 pitches. And he said something that has gone underrated with Davies' performance here, especially in the second half, is how he's contributed with the bat. He says that's been a significant part of how he's gotten those 17 wins. And he says, I mean that sincerely. He said the sac bunts, the safety squeezes, allowing extra runs to score, tying the game, or how it sets up the rest of the lineup. He said Davies' bat has been just as important to how well he's pitched here lately.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, his pitches, I mean, early in the year he was getting wins, really not pitching all that effectively. Team was scoring a ton of runs for him. Was averaging about 7 runs a game for him, and since the All-Star break, maybe a little bit before that, he has been on the target. I mean, everything working for him. The Brewers haven't been scoring a lot of runs, but he continues to win.
Woodruff back to work in the 4th inning, facing Josh Bell. Bell, Polanco, and then Rodriguez, and it is 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple of changeups from Woodruff. By the way, the highest win total in the last 30 seasons in Brewers franchise history is Chris Capuano. So he won 18 in 05. The last 20-game winner the Brewers had, Teddy Higuera, 86. And Zach Davies with 17 right now. Davies' next turn on the mound will be in the first game of the Marlins series.
This Davies got 3 starts left. 3, 4 maybe.
I think 3. They could bump him up maybe to get a 4th, but 3's a safe number right now. There's a bouncing ball to second. Perez makes a play. Bell is retired. Wins leaders in Major League Baseball. You got Greinke, Kershaw, Bauer, and Sale with 16. Bauer had a chance to win number 17 last night. Indians won the game, but Bauer didn't factor. And there's Davies all by himself with 17 victories. Impressive.
That's something. Yeah, the 2-seamer and the curveball. Big pitches for him yesterday. Got a lot of strikeouts with the curveball.
1 away for Gregory Polanco.
Something the Pirates have only been able to elevate one pitch today, and it left the ballpark.
Andrew McCutchen swinging away at the first pitch in the first inning, hit a 2-run homer.
All the outs on the ground except for a strikeout.
One ball, 1 strike on Polanco. 1-2 now. Woodruff has an excellent changeup. One thing you notice about his changeup, it really dives. I mean, it has serious downward action on it. Almost looks like a split finger fastball or a forkball.
Yeah, very effective against lefties. He will throw it to right-handers as well.
1-2. On the ground, that's through, a base hit. Tried to get a breaking ball by him, and Polanco knocks it through the hole between first and second. 1-out single.
Yep, slider down and in. Yeah, Polanco, a good low ball hitter. We've seen it all year. That is a area to stay away from with this guy at the plate, down and in.
All smiles after that single. Signed a big deal with the Pirates, long-term contract. He's had a bit of a down year. He's been on the DL a lot this season. Sean Rodriguez with a man on and 1 away. Made a nice play at third base last inning on Woodruff. That was close.
Yeah, diving play in the hole, able to throw out Woodruff at first base. Woodruff sawed him off his first time up.
Rodriguez is the Hernan Perez of the Pirates. Ultra versatile piece for Clint Hurdle. As a matter of fact, Rodriguez has played 7 positions in just 25 games with the Pirates this year.
5 home runs, only 7 RBIs. That's kind of a interesting stat line.
Tapper foul. Rodriguez began the season with the Braves. Returned to the Pirates August 5th. He was with Pittsburgh for a couple of seasons including last season. 15 and 16 was a member of the Pirates. Came up with the Angels. He was traded to the Rays. Had some good years with the Tampa Bay Rays. That's when he went from a shortstop to a utility player with Tampa Bay. That was a Joe Madden experiment with Rodriguez.
He's always been a good pinch hitter. 2 of his home runs have come as a pinch hitter. 3 of his 7 RBIs pinch hitting.
Woodruff's got him 0-2. A lot of ground balls today from Woodruff. He'd love to get one right now. A serious game face, is it not? He's all business.
Dialed in.
A lot to like about this young pitcher. Polanco is inching away from first, and Rodriguez fouls it away.
It's not just the stuff either. I mean, the fact that he's aggressive, he's poised out there on the mound, he handles adversity very well for a young guy.
I'll never forget his debut with the Brewers against the Tampa Bay Rays. Inning after inning with the bases loaded, and he kept getting out of it. First 2 innings he had them loaded. First 2 innings ever in the big leagues. He loads the bases, and both occasions gets out of it. There's a high chopper out to Perez, and the throw to first is up the line. Tag not in time. They did record it out at second. Perez got a tag on the back of Polanco. Fortunate. Had a chance at a double play, but a lot going on there. Perez actually made a very good play to even have a chance at 2.
Hey, Clint Hurdle, I think, wants to take a look at it.
And Craig Counsell might want to take a look at it
Craig
too.
Counsell, right?
Everybody wants to take a look at it.
Yeah. Out of the baseline. Craig Counsell's wondering if he's out of the baseline. I don't think he is, actually. I think he gets him on his sleeve, though. Yeah, missed the tag out there. See, Aguilar stretches. He's got his foot right in the middle of the bag. I think if he uses the corner of the bag, I think he stays on there and gets the double play. Footwork for Aguilar has been very good all year.
Good work by the umpiring crew, so no challenges coming. Out at second base on the tag. Safe at first is Rodriguez.
Well, you get 3 feet out of your running lane, your direct path to second base, whatever that might be. I don't think that he was out of that baseline, and it looked like Perez got him on the sleeve as he went by.
2 men are out. Elias Diaz at the plate for Pittsburgh. Diaz has started 5 straight games now. He started 8 of the last 10 for the Pirates behind the plate. He's getting a good long look at the catching position. Chopper over to third base. Shaw coming in. Got to hurry. Throw to first in time. Inning is over. A lot of soft contact other than that McCutchen homer. Woodruff's got it going. Let's see if the Brewers can get it going offensively. Things First, weekday mornings on FS1 with host Chris Carter and Nick Wright. They kick off the day with the latest in sports. First Things First, weekdays at 5:30 a.m. Central on FS1. That's right about the time Rock wakes up every day. Now Manny Pena took a follow through to the elbow, and last time, the last pitch of that inning, check this out from Diaz, and clocked him right there on the point of the elbow, and Pena has gone to the clubhouse.
And Brewers have 3 other catchers available.
Maybe a little patchwork needed right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Good work by our crew picking that up.
One of the many problems of being a catcher. Catcher versus catcher got him.
Catcher on catcher crime.
Yeah, what's that? No better than that.
Meanwhile, Stephen Brault has been dealing. Retired the first 9 he's faced. Back to the top of the order here in the 4th inning. He's fallen behind 3-0. Perez flew out to right in the 1st inning. In direct contrast to Woodruff, most of Brault's outs are in the air here tonight.
And Brault's only got 1 ground ball out. That was the Brandon Woodruff ground out to third base.
3 balls and a strike, and that's in there. 3-2. Looked like Perez was taking all the way. Going to make this young hurler throw a strike. Got to be comfortable hitting with 2 strikes to do that. Perez is. Short compact swing of his, and he gets under this one. Bell will haul it in for the out. 10 in a row retired by Brault.
Hey, Linda's Lookout in Watertown is tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Linda's Lookout will get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy, as always, of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. I would imagine that if you call in by 8 o'clock tomorrow, this is good for April or May of next year.
Thanks for looking out for those at Linda's.
Don't expect tickets this year, I would imagine.
It's very good, Rock.
40 tickets in the Miller Lite Beer Pen next year, I would imagine. I think.
It's a promo and a customer service discussion from you. Well done. That's a very thorough Tavern of the Game today, Rock.
Any game but opening day, I would imagine. Maybe marquee games.
Even more valuable information you're delivering.
But this is about the time of the year when the Tavern of the Game. Now, I've been doing these for a while.
Long time, 20-something years.
Yeah, so it's usually April or May of next year.
So your experience compels you to offer these many layers of information.
Right.
Santana strikes out, and the first 2 men are gone. 3rd punch out for Brault, and the Brewers have their hands full here tonight.
Got him on a high fastball. 4 fastballs to Santana in that at bat.
So Braun will step in. This is the kind of pitching that the Pirates saw out of Stephen Brault at AAA this season. He starts Braun with a changeup.
It's been fastball changeup predominantly for Brault. He's thrown a few sliders. He's cutting it, sinking it a little bit. Changeups.
Braun with 15 home runs on the season. 300 career. Every home run he hits sets a new franchise record for home runs for Braun. He passed Robin Yount last season. Yount had the record of 251.
Must be something in that delivery that the Brewers are having a difficult time picking up the baseball. 92 in the corner. I see Ryan talking to himself a bit. And remember, Perez took that 3-1 fastball right down the middle. That's unusual.
2-1 to count on Braun. And that one gets in on his hands.
You're talking 91, 93 miles an hour. Normally the Brewers are going to be tattooing pitches. Pretty straight fastballs with that velocity. Here it comes, and Braun late.
Two-two the count with 2 outs. And Braun spoils that one foul. Brault's been pitching out of the Pittsburgh bullpen at the major league level. He's a California native from El Cajon, California. Went to college in Denver at Regis University. Only 25 years of age. Last year he got a chance. He made 7 starts for Pittsburgh, and he even admitted after the season he wasn't ready. He had not yet completed his mental side of pitching in the big leagues in his developmental stage. Most of that had to do with how aggressive he would be on the mound. Hey, missed that time. Finally a blemish. The Brewers get a man on, and they're going to put Brault in the stretch for the first time today. 2-out walk issued to Ryan Braun. And now Travis Shaw is coming up. Shaw's got a chance to go 30 and 100 this year. Playing a terrific third base as well.
And 10 RBIs. Got 19 games, including tonight.
Sitting on 29 home runs. He had a good cut. Brault dipped down sidearm that time. No balls and a strike. Even though Brault has spent most of his time in the big leagues this year as a reliever, 6 of his 7 games prior to tonight, he has been a starter in AAA and is stretched out and can go a good distance for Clint Hurdle tonight as long as he is effective.
Yeah, made through 5 innings in his first start against the Cubs.
Much different situation with a guy like Josh Hader. If you're thinking about Hader as a potential starting option, Hader's been in the big leagues long enough now as a reliever where you wouldn't do that to him. You wouldn't try to get him stretched back out. There's really not enough time to do it. That's in there, a strike. 2-2.
Plus he's been too valuable out of the bullpen to do that.
No question. There's the Haderade.
Yep, 2 scoreless innings in that 2-0 victory in Chicago on Friday.
2-2 to Shaw, and that's in there, a called strike 3. He was looking for something else, and Brault picks up strikeout number 4. He has 4 shutout innings. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Pirates are in town. First of a 3-game series here. Meaningful September baseball for the Brew Crew. And they are down 2-0. Andrew McCutchen with a first inning 2-run home run off Brandon Woodruff. Meanwhile, Stephen Brault is dealing a gem on the mound. Was not allowed to hit. The only base runner, a walk to Braun. Mercer leads off for Pittsburgh. The pitcher Brault to follow, and then to the top of the order in Starling Marte. Manny Pena, by the way, back out behind the plate, so took care of that elbow after getting hit on a follow-through swing at the end of the last inning. That one is into the other dugout. Mercer's rattling them all up.
Waking everybody up tonight.
Counsell doesn't even move. He's like the Matrix.
Goes right through him.
Yeah, everything's in slow motion for him.
Yeah.
I noticed he did move behind the net though. 0-2 pitch. And it's fouled away. Again, Woodruff got that fastball humming along here.
Yeah, he missed his spot there. Upset with his location. Supposed to be inside.
Mercer grounded to short his first time up. And wouldn't bite on the slider. Pretty good pitch though. Right where he wanted it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. That's the pitch they swing at in AAA, right?
Right. Hitter is much more patient up here in the major leagues, particularly a guy like Jordy Mercer. He's been around a long time. He's seen a slider or two in his day.
Now 2-2 to Mercer. Ouch. You'll put bees in your hands and bees on your ankles too, Woodruff. Makes for a very uncomfortable at bat.
That power sinker.
Where to get it? Ooh, right on top of the foot. Yikes.
Oh. Needs a bigger shin guard.
Yeah, the idea was right. It just didn't cover the area that he needed to. And here's Woodruff. And a fastball. Outside corner. Ring him up. Took his spirit away with that ankle shot. And the second strikeout for Woodruff.
Didn't want to hit the foot again. There it is, right on the corner. Manny Pena sticks the landing right on the outside edge. Chris Guccione rings it up.
Tell you what you love about that sequence, though. I mean, Woodruff is standing there on the mound, squared up. There's a line drive, fair down the right field line, and the pitcher Brault on his way to second base with a double. His second big league hit.
He just dropped the head of the bat on that fastball. I mean, Woodruff gave him a pretty good fastball. Turned on it. There it is. Down and in. Look at, he missed his spot again. Manny reaching across the plate. Supposed to be away. Ends up down and in. 93 on the fastball. And Brault with a 1-out double right down the right field line. A pretty good swing.
Pirates have a runner in scoring position. Top of the order coming up. Marte at the plate. Who's 0 for 2. And a fastball strike in there. One thing I was going to say about Woodruff as Mercer was walking around after that foul ball off his foot, taking his time, is the second he was in the box with both feet and the play is live, right? You're able to pitch. Woodruff was into his motion.
Yeah.
I mean, the second Mercer was ready, Woodruff was ready.
And he put one right on the outside corner. Now, you know, you figure Mercer's thing, he's going to come right back in there because he knows I don't want to do that again.
Right.
Might take it, but he crossed him up by going on the outside corner that time. It was a four-seamer.
1 ball, 1 strike. Did he go? He did not. Checks his swing. 2-1 now.
Okay, that's a strong man to be able to hold up like that.
And a chopper foul. Two in the air, center field, hit well, and Broxton will watch this fly out of here. That's another 2-run homer, and the Pirates are up 4-0 now on a pair of 2-run home runs. McCutchen first, now Marte, and a 2-strike 2-run homer at that. Snaps an 0 for 13 for Starling Marte.
Man, looked like it was a fastball middle in on a pitch that you would think he would pull. And he did. I mean, he kind of pulled the hands in and shot it into the gap out there in right center. 92-mile-an-hour fastball and able to clear the wall out there in right center. That is a pitch that a lot of guys are going to try and pull. And Marte went right with it. Right to the opposite field. He was thinking right field all the way.
Left the bat 104 miles an hour. Now Frazier, a little soft liner to Shaw. That's out number 2. Had him in the right spot on the shift. And here comes McCutchen now. Last time up, McCutchen had a little bouncer to the mound. Worked a deep count in that 3rd inning.
Got him on a slider. Hit a fastball out of the ballpark.
There's a slider that's in there for a strike. And it's 1-2 on McCutchen. Brewers down 4. Got some work to do tonight against a pitcher who is rolling along in his first start against the Brewers this season, Stephen Brault. And it was Brault's double that helped get this rally going in the 5th. Team that has not been scoring many runs since the All-Star break, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They got shut out yesterday in St. Louis.
Except for a few games. I mean, you could say the same about the Brewers, right? The Brewers have been getting some impeccable pitching.
Woodruff strikes out McCutchen to end the inning, but Starling Marte with a 2-run blast. 4-0 our score.
2-0 lead here in the 5th. And now through September 24th, you can join the Brewers in supporting Hurricane Harvey relief efforts by bidding on a customized bowling ball donated by Jimmy Nelson from the team's annual charity bowling tournament. In addition to receiving the bowling ball signed by Nelson and other members of the team, you will get 2 field-level tickets as well as a special meet and greet with Jimmy. And all of those proceeds from the auction will be directed to the American Red Cross as they continue their relief efforts in the Houston area. So please go to brewers.com/bowlingball to bid on that. And Jimmy Nelson and his wife Melissa live in Houston in the off-season, so certainly it's great to see them give back to the Houston community and all those struggling to recover from Hurricane Harvey.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, good thoughts there. And tough loss for Jimmy Nelson. The rest of the year he is out and still doing good work, though. Appreciate that from Jimmy and his wife. Jesus Aguilar leads off for the Brewers. This sputtering offense for the Brewers, trying to solve the riddle of young Steven Brault. This looked like a very good matchup for the Brewers before this game began. You had a very good right-handed hitting lineup. There's a base hit, first one of the night. And the Brewers finally break through, get a lead single from Aguilar.
Yeah, still plenty of time to get things going. Yeah, good start to the 5th inning by Jesus Aguilar with a fastball. He's thrown a lot of fastballs, has Brault. That one up out over the plate, and he hits it hard into left. Skunk out of the box hit-wise in the 5th inning.
Brewers got their first base runner last inning with 2 outs. Braun walked, and now a leadoff single. That'll bring up Manny Pena. Brault has only pitched from the stretch twice. Struck out Travis Shaw pitching from the stretch last inning. And this is his second batter faced with a man on. And he misses. 2-0 the count. On his way to the mound goes Diaz.
Hasn't been behind too many hitters tonight. I mean, first pitch fastballs have been pretty good for him. The 2-seamer, the 4-seamer. Manny Pena right here looking for one middle in, something he can drive into the gap somewhere.
2-0 the count. And Pena takes a strike. That's the fastball that is giving the Brewers fits. All these right-handed hitters, it's locking them up a little bit. Come back tailing fastball.
Just not seeing it early enough.
2-1 now. And Pena gets jammed and pops this one behind the plate and bounces safely. Great effort by Diaz, crashing into the wall.
Is he all right? Boy, head first into the wall out there.
I love the effort by the Pirate catcher.
Pitcher loves it. Ate him up inside, pitch inside off the plate.
Almost.
Thought for a second he hit his head into that wall, but he didn't.
From 2-0 to 2-2. Pena flew out to center field his last time up. Brault deals. Pena into right field, hit well, slicing. Long run, Polanco. He runs it down. What a catch. Well, that is not an easy play going into that corner where there is very little room. Good play by Polanco for the first out of the inning.
Well, he's got those long arms. I mean, he's kind of an average fielding right fielder. He's got a good arm, but he will take some interesting routes every now and again. But this is a pretty good one. Angling back into the corner, knowing exactly where he was. That was a fair ball down the line, and hauls it in.
First out of the inning. Aguilar still at first base. Here is Keon Broxton now. Broxton has had some success against Brault in his career. 3 hits against him in 5 at-bats. A couple of walks as well. Most of the Brewers have not seen much of Brault. Matter of fact, Hernan Perez has the most at-bats against him, 8. None of the Brewer hitters have seen this version of Brault. That is a guarantee from what we saw last year, and then his relief efforts this season.
Yeah, 3 starts last year, 0-2, earned run average of 420. The Brewers were able to get to him last year.
1 ball, 1 strike, and it's in the dirt. 2-1 to count on Broxton, the former Pirate. Traded in the offseason prior to last season, prior to the 2016 season. Still has a lot of good friends in the Pirate system, including Pirates first baseman Josh Bell. They are very close. Played together in the Pittsburgh minor league system. Change up that time. 2-2 the count.
It's basically been the 2 pitches, right? I mean, 2 different fastballs and the changeup. You haven't seen too many sliders or curveballs. Yeah, Broxton way out in front of that one.
Now Keon needs a mistake. And a lead single by Aguilar. First hit of the game. And Broxton jammed as he fouls it away.
Change up away, fastball in. Did the same thing to Manny Pena.
Speeds him up, then slows him down.
Right. That change up slows your bat down a little bit. Then you bust him inside. He's done a good job of that tonight.
Brewers are just kind of stuck in the middle right now. A lot of jam shots, a lot of little flares and fly balls. 2-2. Got him. Struck him out for the 2nd out of the inning. Number 5 for Brault.
Hey, the Brewers and Pirates continue their series with a 420. Yeah, 6:40 p.m. matchup tomorrow night before wrapping up the series with a 7:10 start. That coming on Wednesday. Great seats are still available for both games. Head to Brewers.com to get yours. Tomorrow is 6:40 p.m. Wednesday, 7:10. Are you going to be here for both?
I'll be here for both.
Okay.
And now I'll be on time for both, thanks to you.
People have been asking, you know.
Garcia swing and a miss, asking what time the game starts.
Yeah.
There was a game time change. September 22nd, right?
Yeah. Cubs.
Are you on top of that one? From what to what?
I don't know.
Ground ball to second. And that will retire the side. Brewers offense getting locked down tonight by Stephen Brault, the rookie left-hander. 4-0 Pittsburgh. We go to the 6th inning.
during, you know, about 6 weeks after the after 9/11. You know, it's something that stays with you forever, for sure. That week, the week I spent in New York that year was, you know, I can still, I don't know, I can feel how I felt, you know, still to this day when I was there for that week, and it was like, you know, I hope I never feel again. It was different, even though you're doing the thing you most wanted to do in your life and playing a World Series. There was a different feeling, certainly when you're away from the field. It was a very different feeling away from the field. So it's you know, it's going to stick with everybody forever, and certainly those feelings for me are not that far away. You know, you don't have to go a long ways to get them back.
The comments of manager Craig Counsell asked about playing today, playing on September 11th, as baseball honors all the first responders, and making sure, as the slogan goes, we shall not forget. And what a perspective he has on so many things in Major League Baseball history. And Counsell in New York playing for the Diamondbacks in that World Series following the terrorist attacks of 2001.
Yep, never forget. Flags at half-staff today. You always remember, we'll always remember where you were when you first heard about the attacks. I just dropped the kids off at school and heading back down Racine Avenue, and heard the radio reports coming through the radio at the car, and got back to the house, turned on the television, couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, same with me. I was in San Antonio, Texas at that time, and was with my 2-year-old daughter, wondering what the world's going to be like from now on. And
right.
Bell fouls it away as he leads off this 6th inning.
Yeah, baseball kind of took a recess for a few days, and I remember the Brewers were in St. Louis, you know, when things resumed, and Jack Buck, that very inspirational and heartfelt speech that he gave to the folks in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. I'll never forget that.
Now, the great Jack Buck, fighting cancer at that time. It's a powerful speech. YouTube it and watch it for yourself. It was one of those iconic moments that certainly helped us all figure out how to think about how we're going to watch baseball, how we're going to enjoy baseball again. Bell hits one hard into center field, and that's down. Base hit's going to bounce up and out for a ground rule double. And so the Pirates are getting in some hard hit balls with 2 strikes now. 2-run homer by Marte in the 5th, and now a 2-strike double by Bell.
Starting to dial in on that fastball. That one ends up down the middle, and Bell, a very good low ball hitter, especially from the left side of the plate. He is a switch hitter. Looked like the Brewers were shading him around toward left a little bit, and one hops a wall.
It's going to draw a visit from the pitching coach, Derek Johnson. That snapped at 0 for 10 for Josh Bell. So he had an 0 for 13 snapped with Marte, and an 0 for 10 is gone now with his double. Jared Hughes, the former Pirate, is up in the Brewer bullpen. It's that fine line between being aggressive
And too aggressive.
and maybe missing in the strike zone, right? You can have bad command in the strike zone.
Right, yeah. Sometimes that can be worse than missing off the plate, missing too much, getting too much of the plate. Right.
Gregory Polanco with a runner at second. Brewers can ill afford to go down any more. Brewers aren't hitting tonight. The rookie left-hander Stephen Brault has him shut down through the first 5 innings on a 1-hitter. Only hit was an Aguilar single.
He's over there talking hitting.
Yeah, he had a double and scored a run in the 5th inning. Wave and a miss. Changeup from Woodruff.
Yeah, started him out with a changeup, then a four-seamer, another changeup. This one had some really big movement on it. Check this out, going away from Polanco.
Got him 1-2. And a fastball line to right, base hit. Another 2-strike hit for the Pirates. First and third, nobody out now.
Got on top of a high fastball that time. Polanco's first hit on a down and in fastball, ripped it to right. This time it was up and in. Borderline up and in, and boy, he gets the bat head out, rips it into right field. That's going to be it for Woodruff.
So the rookie giving up 4 runs. Showed good stuff, but made a few mistakes. And the Pirates made him pay for those few mistakes. 2 2-run homers. 2 on, nobody out. Woodruff will exit here in the 6th. And Counsell into his bullpen. Here comes Jared Hughes. Johnson for the Greater Milwaukee Heart and Stroke Walk and 5K. It benefits the American Heart Association, and it occurs Sunday, September 17th at Veterans Park on Milwaukee's lakefront. For additional details, visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events. Jared Hughes is on to pitch for the Brewers as Woodruff exits. 5+ innings for Woodruff, 7 hits allowed, and 2 2-run homers. Still has 2 his responsibility. Yeah, first time he struggled in the big leagues. In his first 4 starts, he had allowed a combined 4 runs, and he'd given up 4 tonight. As Jared Hughes on for the 58th time. Haven't seen Hughes since Wednesday in Cincinnati. Pirates get 2 sharply hit 2-strike hits in this inning. A double by Bell and a single by Polanco, and they are knocking at the door again. Back to the box, and now Hughes is going to tag Bell out and keeps runners at first and second. Good work by Jared Hughes. Get the lead out, keeps a double play intact. Yeah, Bell running on contact, trying to take away the double play. Man, Hughes does exactly what he's supposed to do. Go right at the runner. He ends up tagging himself without a throw. And the base runner's not able to advance. Good job by Hughes, the pitcher. Best rundown is one where you get the out with no throws, and that's exactly what he does. And because of that, Pirates' other base runner's not able to advance. Gets him right on the back. Got him by the dreadlocks, I think. Bell, to his credit, was not about to go back to third base. He was trying to get Polanco to third. getting a run down or try to score. And now Hughes, the ground ball pitcher, has a chance to get out of this inning with a ground ball.
Yeah, typically on a play like that, first and third, nobody out, even one out. I mean, the base runner is supposed to go on anything on the ground except for back to the mound. That's a difficult double play at times. I mean, Rodriguez runs pretty well. But once he committed, he was bound and determined to keep going to see if he could get the run, make Hughes commit himself. He's doing a good job on that play.
Elias Diaz 0 for 2, both outs coming on the ground. Hughes had some very good years with the Pirates. That 6th inning, 7th inning swingman role. There's a bouncing ball. Arcia's got it, flip it, and the throw to first is not in time. Slow developing. The Brewers did all they could. Bang bang play at first. Counsell wants to take a peek.
Yeah, they had the right guy running, the catcher almost able to turn it. That was not a double play ball, the high chopper. Look at a quick shovel over to Perez, and Perez with the big arm. Yeah, pretty close, but looks like he was able to beat it. Maybe. Yep. Too close to challenge. Craig Counsell's going to go after it. Let's take a look. Now, the other thing, maybe he's talking about the slide into second base. I mean, maybe thinking that he didn't get down in time. I mean, Rodriguez took a while to get down, and let's check it out. Does he go beyond the bag? Look at it. He hadn't slid yet. There it is. He kind of rolls at Perez, and that's kind of in that gray area these days.
So you wonder if Counsell is challenging that at second base or the play at first. I guess you have to define what you're challenging.
Not allowed to do this. I mean, come up and roll. He goes by the bag with his feet, but able to hold on with his hands.
So the crew chief is over there. Milwaukee.
Yeah, the fact that Counsell went out there and had a chat with Welke as to what he was challenging. Check it out. You're not supposed to get into the bag and roll. I mean, I think that's what they're looking at.
This is a spot where we would love to know. We would love to be able to hear some kind of announcement. These umpires here are waiting on a call from New York anyway. I mean, it seems conceivable that you would know this. So the challenge is the slide rule, we've just been told, coming from New York.
Supposed to go down on the ground. You're not supposed to jump up or even roll like he did, and it was kind of like in a tweener area. It wasn't obvious. It's not obvious, and you can understand why Counsell wants to, New York to take a look at it. A late slide, he rolls and makes an effort to impede the throw by Hernan Perez. He certainly did that. He wasn't able to get his momentum towards first base because of that slide.
Now, normally, if you can keep contact with the bag, you're clear.
But you're not supposed to go up like that and roll.
There's the rule. Sliding into a base. Not engage in a bona fide slide. I guess that's where that would fall under,
contact
right?
with the fielder for the purpose of breaking up a double play. He's to be called out for interference, and I think that's what Craig Counsell is thinking of.
Jared Hughes got some jumping jacks going on.
He's got a legitimate try here. I think this is going to be an interesting ruling.
This is all part of baseball's plan the last few years to try to clean up some of the plays around the bags, especially second base, at home plate, safety. Player safety is why this is in place. I mean, for years, this is as benign as it gets.
But not a normal slide right there.
Nowadays, it's worth looking at. Well, it could mean the difference of an inning-ending double play, or the Brewers still pitching with runners at the corners.
I would imagine what's going on in New York. I think they're getting consensus amongst some of the other umpires, not just one guy making a call here.
Thought I heard him mouth safe at first. We'll see. All right, so we got no
interference.
No interference. Out at second, safe at first. So
that was a good try by counsel, because that slide was definitely designed to break up a double play, but it wasn't obvious.
So the inning continues here. First and third with 2 men out. Jordy Mercer, the batter. The challenge took 3 minutes 22 seconds. It's worth looking at.
Yeah.
It's a good call. I mean, good for us to explore it as well. I'm sure good for the replay umpires to go through that scenario as well. It was right on the borderline of being illegal. If his hand doesn't keep contact with the base, that might put it into that illegal territory, I
But
guess.
he still rolled, though. I mean, it wasn't a
you're
normal
right.
slide. He rolled. He
I'm
rolled
with you.
into him. He didn't try and hurt him, but he certainly tried to impede his throw, and he actually did impede his throw.
We're going to go ahead and walk Mercer to load the bases to get the pitcher at the plate. Intentional pass. And Brault has a chance to bust this game wide open. Another look at the slide here. It's good to examine. It's all on a case-by-case basis, but
See the way it goes into the knee pretty hard right there. I mean, that could have been a lot worse had Rodriguez had a little bit more momentum going into second base.
Now you got the pitcher at the plate. Had a double his last time up. He looks like he swings the bat pretty well. He hit a hot ground ball over to Shaw in the third inning, and then he pulled one down the right field line off Woodruff in the fifth. It's a big hitter for Jared Hughes, even though he is the pitcher. One mistake here and this game could be out of sight, especially the way this guy is pitching right now. One ball, one strike, and that one is through for a base hit. One run is in. Diaz coming home. The throw to the plate is late. And the Buccos pitcher is having the night of his life on the baseball field. 2 hits, two RBI single to go along with a double. And he's pitching a shutout.
My goodness.
6-0 now.
I mean, both of the hits that he's had tonight have been hit right on the nose. That was a two-seamer away. He got it on the end of the bat and hit it hard right back through the middle. 2 runs in, and now 6-0. My goodness. Now you walk Jordy Mercer, expecting to get Brault for the third out, and he gets a base hit.
That is a move that blew up in the manager's face. 6-0. Boy, the Brewers playing so well in Chicago. And a stinker here tonight thus far. Still have some time to turn it around, but down 6-0. That is a tall order at this point.
I mean, we were talking about that on the pregame show today, Brewers Live, the success the Brewers had against first place teams and teams over 500, and have had a difficult time lately against teams under 500.
Brewers with a 10-13 record with teams under 500 since the All-Star break. Played 3 over against teams who have winning records.
Pirates 10 games under 500. They've lost 5 straight.
And Marte a swing and a miss to end the inning. But the Pirates get a 2 RBI single from their pitcher, who is doing it all here tonight, Steven Brault. Well, the Brewers live and die by the long ball. They've hit a bunch of them this year. Powerball home run count as a team, 202 home runs this year by the Brewers. All on display this weekend in Chicago, even with the wind blowing in. And in franchise history, the Brewers are climbing the list here. The next home run they hit will match the 1980 Milwaukee Brewers with 203 homers. That'll get them in a tie for 4th most all time. And they still have a shot at that 2017 that set the record. They could use a bunch here tonight. They're down 6-0. And Counsell is going to go to his bench. Pitcher spot is coming up, and Jonathan VR will pinch hit for Hughes. Brandon Woodruff tonight goes 5 innings, 6 earned runs. It's been his worst start as a big leaguer. Pirates with a pair of 2-run homers, McCutchen and Marte, and then getting 2 in the 6th inning as well. There's a strike 2 VR, the switch hitter. Brewers have 1 hit tonight against Brault.
And he's doing it just like that. You know, 90, 91 mile-an-hour fastball getting by these Brewers hitters. I'll be anxious to talk to Darnell Coles tomorrow before the game about, you know, how deceptive Brault seems to be with his fastball tonight. After the game tonight is not the time when you go down there and ask that.
Save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a tomorrow thing.
And a curveball is on the edge, a called strike 3. I mean, Brault, he's just got that mojo going right now, and he's pitching well. He's working fast. Everything's working for him on the mound. And he's delivered with 2 hits.
Yes, 6 strikeouts. This one on the breaking pitch that catches the outside corner.
Well, the Brewers' propensity to fall into these collapses offensively. They are such a fun team to watch, but they are equally as maddening as well.
It's the way it's been all year, right?
Sure has.
After that Cincinnati series, you're thinking, well, it's been a good run. You know, and then they sweep the Cubs. A lot of good baseball left to be played.
Yep, they're all big from here on out.
Got to hang in there with them.
Brewers are 7 games over right now. Brault just on the attack here with a 6-run lead, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Brent Suter gets the ball tomorrow. Having a chat there with Eric Thames. 1-2 the count. Perez fouls it away, chasing a high fastball. It's only going to be a 3-game homestand for the Brewers. They're in and out of here. Road trip coming to Miami, then Pittsburgh. By all accounts, if you weren't with us earlier, Sophia reporting that Marlins Park in Miami had a little damage on the roof and a lot of surface damage around the ballpark, but nothing to the actual ballpark itself. They came out well and expecting to play that series as of right now in Miami. There's a lot of alternate plans being made. As a matter of fact, tonight, Yankees and the Rays are playing a game that was supposed to be in St. Petersburg tonight. That game is being played at Citi Field in New York.
Yep.
Yankees have a lead in that game, 5-1, top of the 7th. We're keeping an eye on the Rockies and the Diamondbacks tonight. That game will be underway in about 20 minutes or so, and 4-game series starting there in Phoenix. I beg your pardon, they are just now underway. That was a 6:40 local start, so they just started that game. Rockies and the Diamondbacks. They just started, and Charlie Blackmon already has a hit. How about that? League's leading hitter.
That didn't take long.
There's a little soft liner to Mercer. 2 up, 2 down for Stephen Brault. Now, on this Patriot Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. Salute all of our armed forces. In recognition to the first responders on this September 11, 2017.
First responders put to the test, this month. Had 2 hurricanes, and what would we do without them, right?
Santana into center field, hit pretty well, and McCutchen will have room to make the play. 3 up and 3 down. Brault keeps it going. 6 shutout innings, only 1 hit. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Has not been a good night for the home team tonight. The Pirates have come in here to Milwaukee and have a 6-0 lead, getting a 1-hit shutout by their rookie left-hander Stephen Brault. He has more hits as a batter than he is allowed as a pitcher, and he's been on his game on the mound.
And no kidding. I mean, 2 kind of fastballs, a 2-seamer, 4-seamer, has been effective up in the strike zone. That fastball changeup combination has been a real good one for him. And just for a little bit of a side note, the offense hadn't been bad either, doubling a 2 RBI single, and he's got himself a 6-0 lead as we work here in the 7th inning. Second start for Brault this year. Pitched pretty well against the Cubs. Got a no decision, but and 92 pitches. Looked like his day's over.
6 shutout innings. A lot of handshakes for Brault. And here we go to the 7th now. Pirates are at the plate. Adam Frazier leads off. New pitcher is Oliver Drake. He'll take over the 7th inning. Hughes, when an inning, allowed 2 inherited runners to score. No earned runs on Hughes's line. Those belong to Woodruff, who gives up 6 in 5 innings tonight.
Yeah, we saw Oliver Drake on Saturday in Chicago, a scoreless inning. In that 15-2 Brewers win.
1-2 the count. Frazier, McCutchen, and Bell coming up, and 2-2 now. Frazier's been on twice, singled and scored ahead of the McCutchen homer in the first, and then he walked, stole a base in the third inning, lined out his last time up, hit a little soft liner over to third, popped him up. Let's see who wants this one. Arcia will make the call and the catch. Out number 1. Here is McCutchen, who set the tone offensively for the Pirates today. Jumped on a first pitch fastball from Woodruff in the first inning and hit a 2-run right center field homer. McCutchen now at 24 home runs on the season. Final year of his contract. A lot of speculation on what will happen with Andrew McCutchen. He's been the face of this Pittsburgh franchise. He's been the parallel as they have gotten into relevancy now and then been to the postseason, playing in 3 straight wild card games.
They're off to a really bad start this year, but that kind of seems to be the way he's been going at it lately. Finishing strong again this year.
He did not make the All-Star team this year. Back-to-back years not representing the Pirates at the All-Star game. He had made 5 in a row. His MVP year of 2013. Won a Gold Glove as well. 4 Silver Slugger awards. This guy put up a pretty good rack of trophies in those 4 years with the Pirates.
And used to be a big base stealer. He's got 11 this year. Not as fast as he used to be. Leg issues.
They could count on him for 20 bags a year. He's got a contract expiring though. 6-year deal as it was when he signed it. There is a team option for 2018. And it'd be interesting to see if the Pirates exercise that option or not. Full count. A lot of folks in Arizona feel like Paul Goldschmidt was the worthy MVP the year McCutchen won the award, 2013. Paul Goldschmidt might be the front runner right now to win the MVP in the National League.
Right. Isn't that the way it always is though? Somebody wins and somebody else thinks they were robbed of it. Or a different fan base, different team.
Just ask the Troy Tulowitzki Rockies and the Matt Kemp Dodgers for Ryan Braun's Rookie of the Year and then Braun's MVP, which was 2012.
You can only give it to
2011.
one, and somebody's always going to be, felt like they are on the outside looking in.
A swing and a miss. He got him. A little splitter from Drake for out number 2.
Yeah, been a good one at that.
So who's your, as we take a look at this split finger fastball.
See the way it dives down and into a right-hander, and that's why Craig Counsell feels as though he's best served retiring lefties, because that ball is going away from a left-hander. This one down and in, McCutchen over the top of it.
Who are your MVP picks right now? What would you say? I got Goldschmidt with
a couple of Rockies in there.
I'm with you on that.
Right.
So let me ask you this.
Blackman, Arenado.
I just saw the Rockies back-to-back weekends. That's a difficult call on that. Arenado or Charlie Blackmon. I feel like they're going to split some votes.
Co-MVPs.
That's why I'm thinking Goldschmidt might surface this year, because you could make a strong argument for both Blackmon and Arenado. Arenado's got a chance to lead Major League Baseball for the 3rd straight year in RBIs.
Right. I don't know if Bryce Harper didn't get hurt. He'd have been thrown right in there. I mean, he was probably the front runner early on.
I'm with you on that one. Two and two the count on Josh Bell. I think you could put Anthony Rendon on the list. He's having a great year with the Nationals. If you're looking at winning teams, I feel like it's a 3-horse race at this moment. Blackmon, Arenado of the Rockies, and then Paul Goldschmidt. Rookie of the year in the National League is going to be a runaway, Cody Bellinger.
Right.
He's got a chance to set a Major League record, National League record for home runs by a rookie. Bell draws the walk. 2-out base runner. Zach Greinke's got a chance to win the Cy Young Award. Torey Lovullo has a chance to win the Manager of the Year. I said yesterday on the national game, if the Brewers make it to the playoffs, Craig Counsell has got to be on that list.
Well, who had the Brewers even being in the race at this point? Nobody. Not one single person would have said the Brewers would be in this position outside of the guys in the clubhouse.
It's a lot of ways you could go for Manager of the Year this year. Dusty Baker in Washington, the first team to clinch, might very well have the best record. And when it's all said and done, you got Counsell, Torey Lovullo in Arizona, Bud Black with the Rockies in his first year.
Yeah. Dave Roberts before this collapse by the Dodgers. This recent collapse.
Fly ball deep to left. Braun is there, and the former MVP makes a catch to end the inning. Scoreless inning for Drake. Brewers coming up. Stretch time here at Miller Park gives us a chance to check in with the Miller Park Public Address System and their presentation of God Bless America. Enjoy.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Nothing lead here in the 7th. The showstopper in baseball, we go out to Citi Field for a series between the Yankees and the Rays, originally supposed to be played at the Trop in St. Pete. Moved to Citi Field, and Todd Frazier felt right at home in the 4th. A 3-run home run for him off of Jake Odorizzi. That would give the Yankees a 5-1 lead, and they still lead it 5-1 in the 7th.
The Todd father. Nice little trip for the Yankees. Just go across to Queens to play a series.
That's a neutral venue, right?
It might be. Mets fans over. I don't know if Yankees fans would actually go to Citi Field. So that's a good question.
Maybe, right?
I want to get a pulse of that crowd at Citi Field for the Yankees.
Yeah, A.J. Schugel taking over in the 7th inning. Schugel has a 4-0 record with a win on September 2nd. And last pitched on Friday against the Cardinals.
Ryan Braun, a swing and a miss to start the inning. Bottom 7 here. Brewers down 6-0. And a one-hitter across 6 innings for Steven Brault. 6 shutout innings, a walk, a hit, and 6 punchouts. What a performance. And 2 hits and 2 RBIs as a hitter tonight for Brault. Best game of his brief big league career, and one to stack on.
And looking for his first victory against Milwaukee.
Braun drew a walk in the 4th, the only walk Brault allowed. Leans out on one, fouls it away.
You know, Brault was an interesting study tonight because his command wasn't all that great. I mean, there were a lot of times when Diaz was set up on the outside, he threw him inside, and vice versa. But something about his delivery really had the Brewers tied up tonight.
Oh, 2 to Braun. Called, strike 3. One gone here in the 7th.
Hey, mark your calendars for a huge weekend series at Miller Park. That's Thursday, September 21st through Sunday the 24th. The Cubs are going to be here at Miller Park. Reserve your tickets today at Brewers.com. A 4-game series against the Cubs at home, end of September. Hopefully meaningful games. Got to take care of business next 9 days.
Yeah.
Got 6 against the Pirates, including tonight, and 3 against the Marlins. And then the Cubs.
Cardinals have the toughest road to the finish line if you're looking at plus 500 teams. But I would argue at this point the Brewers would rather play teams over 500. I don't know, for whatever reason, it brings out their best game. Cardinals will have 7 against the Chicago Cubs. And they'll have 3 with the Pirates, 3 with the Brewers. Last series of the year for the Brewers is in St. Louis. Last 3 games of the regular season will be a 3-game weekend series at Busch.
Teams out of contention are sometimes the toughest to deal with. They really don't have much to lose. They're free and easy, having fun. And they can be a difficult opponent at the end of the year when you're trying your best to win games.
Diamondbacks right now with the best record versus teams with a winning record. It's not like other sports, though. I mean, the teams that have been catching the Dodgers here lately, that's the team you want to play right now. Hard to say it. Best record in the National League, but they've lost 10 straight games. They can't get out of their own way right now.
Man, no kidding. Who saw that coming?
Baseball is crazy, man.
You know, we were in L.A. and I was, saying, how does Dave Roberts keep these guys engaged, right? I mean,
yeah,
down the stretch, keep them all involved, get them days off, and lo and behold, as soon as the Brewers leave town, that's what happens. Tough to keep them focused with such a big lead. I mean, you play so hard for so long, and sometimes there's a letdown, and I got to imagine the Dodgers got to be panicking at this point.
There's a lot of scoreboard watching now, which you didn't even think would come into play.
Not just the best record in the league. I'm talking about how do you turn the switch back on, right?
I'm with you. It is not a good looking team right now, the Dodgers. They have a road trip in San Francisco, and then they go to Washington. They got 3 games with the Nationals coming up this weekend. Dodgers still have a 9-game lead. It all looks good on paper in the macro, but the micro has not gone well for them. They've lost 15 out of 16 games. And by the way, no team in the history of baseball has won a World Series losing like that, 15 out of 16. And no team in Major League Baseball history has lost 15 out of 16 and won 90 games.
How about that? They already did that.
And they've done it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you got the Indians doing what they're doing. You got a big lead tonight. Cleveland has a 9-0 lead in the top of the 8th inning. We saw the Rockies a couple of weeks ago. They looked like they were dead in the water. But then they got hot. They took 2 out of 3 from the Giants.
Yeah, they weren't swinging the bats well at all against Milwaukee. Not sure it was the Brewers pitching or they weren't swinging the bats well. Maybe a little bit of both.
They won a series against San Francisco, and then they swept a 4-game series in Los Angeles. Rockies are underway tonight in Phoenix. Diamondbacks swept Colorado last weekend. No score in that game, 2nd inning. Rockies at D-backs tonight. That's one to watch. There's a called strike 3, and the inning is over. And the beat goes on for the Brewers at the plate. It has been a mess offensively. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer, and by Chevy, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com today to find a dealer near you. Craig Counsell and the Brewers getting shut out tonight after that thrilling sweep at Wrigley Field. The Brewers having a tough time with Pirates pitching in this one. Jacob Barnes is on the mound for the Brewers as we go to the 8th inning. Here's a pitcher that Counsell would love to get right once again. Had been in a great spot pitching in the 8th inning as a setup man and pitching very well, but has fallen off here lately as the season has gotten along.
Yeah, did not appear in any games against the Cubs. Last Tuesday at Cincinnati, 2/3 of an inning, had control problems. Walked 3, gave up a hit, allowed 4 runs. And Jacob Barnes needs to get things right. No time better than right now.
Sean Rodriguez will lead off for Pittsburgh. 6-0 Pirates. Had 3 2-run innings as Barnes with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right by Rodriguez. McCutchen a 2-run homer in the first. Marte hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. 2 runs coming in the 6th inning as well, both driven in by the pitcher Steven Brault.
Yeah, Barnes was having a difficult time in Cincinnati throwing that cut fastball for strikes, or even throwing it close enough to get a swing.
1-1. Rodriguez skies one. Shortstop Arcia waving off Braun. 1 away. Brewers have lost 8 games to the Pirates this year. Record is 8-5, barring a comeback tonight. It'll go 9-5 for Pittsburgh against Milwaukee. Pirates pitching has an earned run average right now near 2.5 in the season series in the 14 games. For whatever reason, they have figured out the Brewers offensively.
And they're feeling good in games. I mean, they have been swinging the bats, really have. And Pirates pitching has been good against Milwaukee, particularly in Pittsburgh, but outstanding work tonight. It's the way the game goes sometimes.
Yeah.
There's just no figuring it out.
Doesn't work like other sports when you're looking at teams that you quote unquote should beat. That just doesn't play that way,
No,
especially in September.
You can't even say it. And it's not like anybody looks beyond any team either. Just the way it goes.
You get these expanded rosters here, teams that are down. There's a lot of guys in this lineup that are grinding to make a major league roster next year. Here's one of them right here in Diaz, and certainly Brault. He wants to be in the rotation next year. It does speak to the talent that is in this division specifically. Pirates have a good system going right now. They've got some prospects. Got to make some decisions on what to do with their money for next year. So a fly ball to right. Diaz sends one out to Santana for out number 2. Just take them as they come. Try to get hot. The team that gets hot usually ends up there. So Brewers had a nice run in Chicago. You look at teams like the Diamondbacks, what the Rockies are doing right now, certainly the Indians. You want to be playing good baseball if you go into the postseason. You want to play your best ball.
Yep, you're going to have games like this. You just don't want to have too many in a row.
Try not to get yourself in a position where you have to sweep the Cubs when they come here next time around, right? That's hard to do.
Well, that's 9 games from now. I mean, a lot can happen. You got to play some good baseball. You got to start hitting on a consistent basis. The Brewers have not done that in the second half. They've had games here and there. They have relied heavily on their pitching. We've been talking about it for quite some time now. You know, and during the first half of the season, could you ever imagine that the Brewers offense would struggle the way it has?
It was really the first 2 months they were clicking on all cylinders, and it looked like an offense that was going to be a real juggernaut, right? It looked like they were postseason ready kind of offense, but that all died down when the calendar flipped to June. And then as you got into the All-Star break, and they've had their moments, so now you got to define who you are as an offense. And Brewers right now basically relying on their pitching to take them there. If they're going to make it, they're going to have to pitch their way to the postseason, you would think.
Yeah.
That's why the Jimmy Nelson injury hurts even more. He was dealing, having his best year of his career. Significant loss. Swing and a miss. Barnes with that good slider, that cutter he throws. Hopefully Nelson's not going to require surgery. He's out for this season. Now you're anxious to see what next season looks like for Jimmy Nelson.
Did it sliding back into first base, rounding the bag after a single in Chicago. When you think about the big injuries to the Brewers starting rotation, none of them coming when they were on the mound.
3 pitchers hurt, all while at the plate or running the bases. Nelson the latest to do it. Chase Anderson pulled his oblique while swinging the bat in late June. And then Guerra opening day with that calf injury. Mercer hits one deep into left center field. And that one is long gone. And it's 7-0, and Barnes continues his struggles. That innings count might have caught up with Jacob Barnes this season.
Yeah, he's been used quite a bit. Yeah, looked like a breaking pitch that stayed right down the middle of the plate. There it is. Actually, fastball 95, and Jody Mercer turning it around. I thought for a minute the way he made contact on that pitch, it was a cutter, but it wasn't. Fastball down the middle, and the Pirates all smiles in that dugout.
Yeah, why not? Team that was shut out yesterday 7-0 in St. Louis. Team that has lost 5 in a row. They have owned the Brewers here lately. Swept them in a 4-game series in Pittsburgh. And the Buccos up big here tonight in the 8th. 7-0 the score. Jaso, the pinch hitter, takes strike 2.
Brewers did win a 2-game series. They took 2 games in that 2-game series here at Miller Park.
Jaso gets jammed a little. Fly ball out to Broxton. And that will retire the side, but the Pirates add to it. Jordy Mercer with his 14th of the year makes it 7-0 Pittsburgh.
Pirates and Brewers decided by 2 runs or less. So much for that theory out the door here at 7-0. The Pirates over Milwaukee right now as the Brewers come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're going to take a look at our Badger Mutual Insurance plays of the game, and Brandon Woodruff had only given up 1 home run going into this start. His previous 4 starts tonight, 2. 1 coming to McCutchen in the first inning, a 2-run pop. That put the Pirates out in front, and then Marte in the 5th inning, another 2-run pop. And Brandon Woodruff goes out, and the Brewers down by 7 runs here. We'll take a look back at this ball game, get some post-game reaction from Craig Counsell on the way. Brewers Live post-game presented by Ascension follows our telecast, BA.
All right, thanks, Craig. Looking forward to that. Brewers Live coming your way. Bottom of the 8th now, and it'll be Manny Pena to start it. Daniel Hudson is on to pitch for Pittsburgh. Brewers have 1 more series against the Pirates. That'll be on the road. Next road trip, September 18th through the 20th in Pittsburgh. Brewers got swept last time they were in Pittsburgh, so there'll be a little redemption factor to that. Yeah. 2 more to play in this series.
Yeah, 4-game sweep at that. 64th appearance for Daniel Hudson. Last year he made 70 appearances out of the bullpen. He was a starting pitcher early in his career. 453 earned run average for Hudson. Last appeared on Friday in St. Louis.
Two balls and a strike on Manny Pena, who is 0 for 2. Brewers have just one hit. That was an Aguilar single between short and third back in the 5th inning. That led off the 5th. The only other base runner for the Brewers was a Ryan Braun walk in the 4th. That's been it. 2 base runners tonight.
Yeah.
2-2 the count. Pena trying to reach. Count goes full, 3-2. Up the middle, there's a base hit. The Pineapple delivers. Leadoff single here in the 8th. Second hit of the ball game.
Yep, 3-2 fastball from Hudson out over the plate, and Pena able to bang it right back through the middle. Leadoff single, second time the Brewers have been able to do that tonight. Brewers have not had a man at second base yet.
Now, Braun was left stranded with 2 outs in the 4th when he reached, and then that leadoff single by Aguilar in the 5th never moved off first base. Here's Eric Sogard. He'll pinch hit for Keon Broxton. Had a good year against the Pirates this year. Has Sogard 8 hits. There's a strike. Little chopper ranging over. Frazier steps on the bag, and a jump throw is in time. A double play. Good play by Frazier. 4-3 double play ball.
Yep, able to get enough on the throw to be able to finish the double play. Sogard getting down the line, average base runner. Kind of a hot chopper right up the middle. The only chance is get him himself, and he does. Yeah, good pick by Bell over at first base.
They'll bring up Arcia now to face Hudson with 2 outs. A loss tonight, the Brewers are going to fall into 3rd place in the division. They'll fall a half game behind the Cardinals, and they'll fall to 2.5 back of the Cubs. Cardinals and Cubs both start their series tomorrow. Cubs will be at home against the Mets. Cardinals at home against the Reds. They'll make up that half game when the Brewers have an off day Thursday. The Cubs and Cardinals both play Thursday. 0-2 pitch. Arcia takes a ball down and away. One and 2. Hudson deals it, and Arcia lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's going to be one of those years if the Brewers don't make it to the postseason. It'll be easy to understand. They just didn't quite have enough depth. If they do make it, the theme will be resiliency, because they have looked like they've been down for the count often, only to come back often.
I think it's going to be just as much depth as it is inexperience. Being that consistency at the plate in the field throughout a 162 game season. A lot of these guys playing every day for the first time.
I remember you said that at spring training. And it's hard to imagine, you know, the Brewers are sitting there at the All-Star break 5.5 games ahead as Arcia walks. 2-out base runner for the Crew. But you're right, guys like Arcia, I mean, just go up and down the lineup. Everybody other than Braun is doing this for the first time. Playing in these significant roles in a pennant race. A lot of second chancers and even third chancers that have performed so well. Vogt was coming up to hit. Looks like Hurdle's going to make a pitching change. Might as well go matchup. It's a 7-0 game. Match him up, Clint. Good Brewer fans right there. Got the bobblehead going. Got the gear on. I love it. 7-0 game, and we're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs. Stephen Vogt was announced as the pinch hitter, and that immediately sent Clint Hurdle to work. He goes on and brings on his matchup left-hander Dan Runzler to work here against Vogt.
Yeah, he got called up on Sunday. Runzler last appeared in the major leagues way back in 2012 with the Giants. The Pirates have 3 left-handers down in that bullpen, including Runzler.
What's my role going to be, Skipper? Your role is going to be to face the lefty when we're up 7.
Well, and he didn't think he had a chance.
You give managers all these tools, they're going to use them.
Yeah.
All these toys, all these pitchers. Can't blame them. And it works. Vogt pops up. Runzler maintains the shutout. Stats don't lie, Rock. Go to the 9th. On Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Roof is open, beautiful night. Unfortunately, the Brewers on the wrong end of this one tonight. 7-0 Pirates. We go to the 9th inning. And changes for the Brewers. Sogard stays in to play second base. That moves Perez out to center field. And the new pitcher, Rock, is Junior Guerra.
And we saw Junior Guerra on Saturday against the Cubs. He came in with that big lead, gave up a run in an inning of work. And you see his numbers overall, 15 appearances, 13 of them starts, that earned run average over 5. Split-fingered fastball looked pretty good against the Cubs. And that's a pitch that he had really been struggling with before he got sent down.
Long and winding road this year for Guerra, the Brewers' opening day starter this year. Injured his calf in the 3rd inning of that game while bunting actually. Put him on the DL for 6 weeks.
Had a couple of strikeouts in that appearance on Saturday against Chicago.
So Guerra will get the 9th. He'll have the top of the order coming up. Starling Marte leads off. These are important innings here for Guerra. He knows there's a spot in the rotation available. He would like to take that spot, or at least be considered for a start in the remaining of the year. Right now, working out of the bullpen. Had a surprising year last year. Ended up as the Brewers pitcher of the year last year. And earned that opening day nod. Hasn't been the same kind of pitcher this season.
Yeah, location not the same with the fastball. The splitter, for some reason, wasn't throwing it as hard.
1 ball, 1 strike. Marte takes a ball inside. 2-1. Do it again tomorrow night. Brewers Pirates, same time. Remember, these are 6:40 first pitch games. Monday, Tuesdays this year. On the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow for Brewers Live. There's a strike. Brent Suter will get the ball for the Brewers tomorrow against the Pirates ace Garrett Cole. Miller Lite, what's on tap? 6 o'clock. Brewers Live right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And a called strike 3. Marte is out. Guerra with a punch out to start the inning.
There's that split-fingered fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Manny pulling it down. Piscuccioni ringing it up.
Frazier has had a good night. It's been good defensively. Turned a nifty double play. Has a hit and a run scored tonight. He also walked, stole a base. This guy's a good player.
Yeah,
they found something in him.
Yeah, he's solid. He doesn't make mistakes. Tough guy to strike out. Puts the bat on the ball. Hits it where it's pitched.
Mississippi State. Rolls over one to Aguilar. Backhands it and flips over to Guerra for out number 2. Well, against Garrett Cole tomorrow, the big power right-hander, I'm sure Craig Counsell is going to have some lefties in his lineup.
The right-hander day to day, lefties tomorrow. Cole making career start number 12 against the Brewers. He's 1-0 this year in 4 starts.
Brewers have handled some of the better pitching in the league this season. Had some terrific games against the elites, including Cole. They're going to need one tomorrow. Tough matchup. Rookie got him tonight. Steven Brault. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Had a walk and 6 strikeouts, and he had 2 hits at the plate and 2 RBIs. put the game away. It was 4-0 at the time, and then he had a 2-out, 2 RBI single to make it 6-0 and put us into this mode. Rockies and Diamondbacks are in the 3rd inning. That game's all tied at 1. That'll be a late game to follow tonight. Brewers trailing the Rockies for that 2nd wild card spot. They're going to drop to 3.5, barring a big comeback in the 9th. Brewers were within a half a game of the Rockies before they got hot.
Who's going to go on a nice run? You know, one of those, 6-7 game winning streaks, whether it be for the division or for the wild card.
Yeah, there's so many teams involved as McCutchen walks. Probably not going to find your way in like the Brewers did in 08. When the Mets collapsed and then the Brewers played okay. I mean, they had some huge wins late in the season. They didn't put together any long winning streaks or anything. Remember, Ned Yost was fired with 12 games left in that season. That's how bleak the season was looking at that point.
Right, Brewers actually swept the Pirates late in the season. Remember that Ryan Braun grand slam?
Yes, I do. Late September grand slam and extra innings. So it can turn quickly. Sometimes you can have a team fall back to where you are, but it doesn't feel that way this year is my point. There's too many teams in the picture. Cubs, Cardinals, Rockies.
You're going to have to win your way in. Get on a nice run.
Josh Bell with McCutchen at first base. Bell with a 2-strike double in the 6th inning. Has a walk tonight as well. 1-2 now. It's been the major difference for Guerra, that fastball velocity. Remember, he was humming along last year in the mid-90s.
Yeah, high fastballs, then the split.
Fastball's now in the low 90s. Two-two to Bell. Guerra foul out of play. How's your whistling right now, Rock? Are you interested in getting into this game?
No, I think
got a strong whistling game going on right now.
I'm just going to listen.
That's a great idea. Let's just listen.
Let's just listen. My whistling game is very inconsistent. There are times when I can really get off a couple of good ones, but then a lot of times it's just air.
It's mostly breath support is a challenge. I was thinking about turning pro as a whistler at one point. Swing and a miss. That's something to whistle about. Strikeout to end the inning. Pirates. And a 2-hitter for Pittsburgh pitching. Clint Hurdle, with his club getting swept in St. Louis, didn't have an opportunity to use his big closer. This guy is about as lights out as there is. Felipe Rivero, who's blown just 1 save this year, is on to pitch in a 7-0 ball game just to get some work.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched since Tuesday. Picked up a save, number 18 of the year against the Cubs. 67th appearance for Rivero. Another guy with a good changeup, big fastball. He has been a tough customer this year.
Rivero will face Hernan Perez to start the inning. Come on out and join us at the ballpark. We'd love to have you here at Miller Park. We get into this stretch run right now. Night game tomorrow. I think those early start times help you get into bed at a decent hour. Those 6:40 start times. A lot on the shoulders of Brent Suter tomorrow. What are we expecting out of the left-hander? He's been a fascinating watch this year, Suter. All he's done for the Brewers.
Yeah, last pitch in relief. You know, that was back in Cincinnati. That was on Wednesday. Last start was on September 3rd against the Nationals. Only went 3 innings, so I would imagine it's going to be another day for the bullpen.
Brewers have not announced their starter for Wednesday just yet. Can speculate on who that might be. But this is going to be a key couple of days now for the Brewers. That's why this game was so important, and to come out and struggle like they have. There's a little jam shot right over the bag. That's fair. And a race to the bag. Rivero beats Perez for the out.
Looked like it even hit the bag a little bit. Just kind of glanced the side of the bag, and Josh Bell able to flip it over to Rivero for the out. Little cue shot right off the end of the bat. This guy's got a really good changeup. Check this out.
Just got him. Perez runs well, as well, and by that much.
Yep.
1 away in this 9th inning. Santana. We lost a legend in sports television yesterday. Don Ohlmeyer was just checking out Monday Night Football is on tonight. As Santana hammers one to left field. That's down, a base hit. And a single for Santana. Got himself a knock tonight. Didn't make it a completely empty night at the plate. 1 for 4 for Domingo.
Yeah, quick hands on a fastball in. Rips it into left field. A little sinking liner out there.
That'll bring up Braun. Yeah, Don Ohlmeyer was one of the pioneers of Monday Night Football. He and Chet Forty and Howard Cosell, Don Meredith. I mean, he was the guy that helped put Monday Night Football on the map, make it what it was. Roone Arledge. So that was a big loss. One of the great TV executives ever. And Bob Uecker used to work with Don Ohlmeyer. Ohlmeyer produced a number of the national games that Bob Uecker would work, and we were sharing some stories earlier. I know Don's son Chris pretty well. He's a producer as well, TV producer. Uecker told some pretty funny stories about the Don Ohlmeyer, Chet Forty, Howard Cosell days. Some big names just dropped right out of there when Uecker starts talking.
Yeah, I mean, and back then they didn't think Monday Night Football would work. Boy, how wrong can you be? Now they got Thursday Night Football, and
yeah, they took the Monday Night Football idea, they took it to Monday Night Baseball. That was when Uecker started doing games Monday Night Baseball, and it was the same crew, really, the same group producing and directing. Legendaries, figures. Ground ball to third base, out at second, and Braun safe at first. Think about a guy like Don Ohlmeyer. Reminds us to give a little praise to our great crew here in Milwaukee. Outstanding technicians, camera operators, audio, graphics.
Got the big crew party tomorrow.
There's Woody. He's seen a few of these in his life. The Godfather, Dan Quinn, behind the silhouette of Dan. That's very appropriate for a Dan Quinn image right there.
In the shadows.
There's Andy. These guys are working Brewer games, and most of them, a lot of them, working on NFL games on the weekends.
Yep, the annual crew party for all the television crew tomorrow night down at Fridays.
Are we invited to that, or how does that go?
We only get invited to stuff that we're expected to pay for. So.
Jet Bandy pinch hitting.
Now the Brewers actually foot the bill for
that's
that.
right.
I mean, that's the Brewers' way of thanking everybody on the production of all the television games. And
Tyler Barnes and Rick Schlesinger, Alita Mercer, we thank them for setting us up. Normally we say a few words every year. I think this year we're gonna let the crew say nice things about us.
That'll be quick.
That's where we're headed. All right, this one mercifully over. We'll wash it clean and get ready for tomorrow. The Brewers need one tomorrow. Get back to winning ways. A 7-0 Pittsburgh win. Brewers Live is coming your way. Craig Kashawn and Rock will have it for you. Let's send it out to Craig right now. Time for Brewers Live. Craig?
All right, B.A., thanks for